All right, in the last section of notes that we're going to do in Algebra 1 for the year, in 12.6, we're going to talk about the distance and midpoint formulas. So now the formulas look a little intense, and they are a little bit, and you do have to memorize them. But we'll take it one at a time. The distance formula is used to find the distance between any two points. So if they ask you how far apart are the points, what's the length of something, and they give you points, you're going to use the distance formula. And here it is. Distance equals a really long square root. Parentheses, x2 minus x1 squared plus parentheses y2 minus y1 squared. And x1 and y1 and x2, y2 come from two different points. Okay, so the first point is x1, y1, and the second one is x2, y2. It just helps you know which order to use. So, if your answer is not a perfect square, don't give me a decimal, break down the radical and leave it in simplest form. So let's see what happens here. So I'm going to label the first point as x1, y1, and the second point as x2, whoops, that should be a y, y2. Okay, that just helps me know where everybody goes in the formula. So, second x minus the first x, so 17 minus 5. Second y minus the first y, 11 minus 6. I have to do the parentheses first, so that gives me 12 squared plus 5 squared. I have to do the exponents now. 144 plus 25, the square root of 169. The very last thing you're going to do in these is square root. Now, 169 is a perfect square, so this just equals 13. Okay, that's distance. Plug everybody in and work it out. If I had gotten an answer, let's say I had gotten an answer like the square root of 50, I would need to break that down into 25 and 2, and I would leave my answer as 5 square roots of 2. I would not give a decimal. Okay, no decimals. All right, but this is my answer, 13. Let's move on to midpoint. And this is the end. Okay. The midpoint is exactly what it sounds like. It is a point in the middle of a segment. So here's the formula for midpoint. And your answer is going to equal a point. Okay? When you do distance, your answer equals a number. But when you do a midpoint, you're finding a point. So your answer is a coordinate. So let's label this and then give myself much room. x1, y1, and x2, y2. Cross this out. Okay, so I add up my x's, 2 plus 9, all over 2, comma, and that's why there's a comma there, because I'm writing the coordinates of a point. Add up the y's and divide by 2. Now I just work each one out. 2 plus 9 is 11. 5 plus 5 is 10. I can't do anything with 11 over 2, so I'm just going to leave it as an improper. You could make it 5½ if you want, but 10 divided by 2, you absolutely must simplify to make 5. That's it. All right, so that's distance and midpoint. Make sure you memorize your formulas, label your points so you know who gets plugged in where, and simplify your answers.